So you've got a big one, which is air pollution, and anybody who's living in London right now will know that that's high on the agenda of the mayor and other people in London. So that has an impact directly on things like asthma, COPD, respiratory conditions, but also in the long term, it increases risks of things like heart attacks, strokes, even dementia. And we know that it's prematurely killing millions of people globally and 36,000 people per year in the UK. You've also got direct impacts of heat. So in primary care, we often talk about cradle to grave care. And I definitely think the most sort of vulnerable groups that I see are the young and the old, and the ones that are kind of, we see a bit more generally. So they might be impacted directly by heat related illness. So in 2020, 2,000 people died of heat related illness in UK. And then there's the kind of changing way that we see infection and things with the rising climate. So vector-borne diseases will start to go on the rise, and we might see more pandemics in the future. And then we have direct sort of weather event things that might affect health. So, people might have been affected by that recent storm that was in the papers, the fact that people have, power outages, or that they might have flooding. And, we saw it in London this year with things like Whipps Cross Hospital was flooded. So directly on the services we are providing in the NHS and on people's wellbeing. And then again, a thing that I feel really passionate about and ties it in for me is the social consequences of this. So both on, again, huge global issues, and it's happening right now, particularly in the global south, but there will be migration of people, and there will also be, the people who are being impacted hardest are often the kind of most vulnerable groups and the most unheard. It's very, you're talking about kind of Zoe coming and being on consultation, is that often these decisions, these top-down decisions are made without hearing the people who have a voice, and often those people are working incredibly hard and being impacted by things they have no control over. So I think there's a huge amount of social inequality here. We know that things like domestic violence go up in hotter weather, that insecure housing becomes more problematic with a changing climate. So there's huge amounts of social consequences of a changing climate, and that is what we see in primary care all the time.